one of the few times I let Tim go through with an idea, I end up with this on my head.
And we broke the budget that we have for the show buying these. So
You had to do this out of pocket, didn't you?
yeah,
Shame on you.
$1.49 for both of them. So I had to put 49 cents of my own money in.
Yeah.
So we broke the dollar budget for our show. But we hope you enjoy them. It's the theme. So obviously you know what we're going to be talking about.
Now is our best of this year.
Yes.
So let's start with best movies. We'll take this back and forth. I'll let you start.
Okay, so my number 5, top movie of the year, Hot Fuzz. Not only was it funny, but it was good story, good action, so special effects. But I had a great time in the theater.
I would have that up with mine. I'm a big fan of Simon Pegg and those movies. The only thing that kept it off my top 5 was just the fact that it was a lot like Shaun of the Dead. It was a great movie by itself, but just for me, it just was too many similarities.
No, I just like the action references.
Yeah,
and
it was a great
the
movie.
Point
It was
Break,
really fun.
shooting into the air.
Great movie.
I love that. So
All right, my number 5 was Zodiac, which was great movie, great acting. The only thing that kept it so low on my list was how long it was. I'm pretty sure they could have cut out probably a good at least half hour out of that movie. But altogether, great movie.
yeah, well, that's my number 4.
Oh,
Is Zodiac. I enjoyed it. I liked the references to Riverside, where we live.
Yeah, that's great.
Everyone in the theater thought it was hilarious, even though they're talking about murder. So
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, a lot of good acting.
Robert Downey Jr. was awesome.
Yes, Jake Gyllenhaal, who I normally don't enjoy, was good in the movie. It was too long, but I still enjoyed it much more than a lot of movies I saw this year.
My number 4, which I thought would surprise you until you mentioned it earlier, was Stardust. Actually, I went and saw it off of a whim, and I really enjoyed it.
Did your girlfriend make you see it?
She kind of pushed me to see it. I kind of want to see it just because it kind of looked interesting, and it really was. It was nothing like what I suspected it to be.
Oh, okay.
I was really taken surprised by it.
Okay. So my number 3, everyone's gonna kill me, but I thought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was one of the best movie-going experiences I've seen this year.
Really?
Yeah, the animation was probably the best animation of the year.
Yeah, it was a good
The story was
movie.
good. The voice acting was spot on.
Yeah.
Even though Sarah Michelle Gellar was in it, but I enjoyed it, and I will freely admit that and shout it to the world.
All right, my number 3 was one of 2 Christian Bale movies on my list, Rescue Dawn, which I didn't see until recently, but is easily one of the best movies. It's really simple, and it's kind of depressing, but overall, it's just a great movie. It's based off of a true story, and just you kind of forget that in the movie just because of how powerful it is. You just think no one could endure this. So when you remember that it's a true story, it's really powerful. Great movie.
And it's on DVD now, so people can rent
And
it.
Steve Zahn, Christian Bale, just amazing performances.
Well, my number 2 movie, and my number 2 and number 1 were really close together, but The Kingdom
Actually, I haven't
with
seen
Jamie
that yet.
Foxx and Jennifer Garner. Great movie. The reason why it wasn't the best was because of the shaky cam that we talked about with the Bourne
Yeah.
movies. At some points, the shaky cam just gets too much. I understand that, for the feel of it, when people are shooting and missiles are going off, yeah, there should be shaky cam. But after a while, you're
Yeah,
like,
too much of it just kind of
stop, please.
Live theater doing
The
this.
story was great, and amazing performance by Jason Bateman. Usually he's known for his comedy, stuff, but this is a very dramatic role for him. Yeah, he's the comic relief of the movie, but there's points in the movie where he gets very dramatic. And Jennifer Garner stabbing a guy into his skull.
Right on.
One of the best moments of the year.
All right. My number 2 was the other Christian Bale movie, Through Chin to Yuma. Did you see that?
No.
Really, you should go see it.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Right now?
Right now. I'll finish up the show. It was the Western, but it was kind of Western that people watch today. Like, you don't see a lot of people our age going back and watching old Westerns.
Yeah.
This is like a new era of
And it's
Western.
a remake.
Yeah. And it's an amazing remake at that.
Okay.
Because after I saw this, I saw the old one, and they stuck pretty true to that old movie, but made it so good.
Okay. Well, my number 1 movie, I'm going to get flack for this, but I loved Ocean's 13. I love the first movie. I didn't see a lot of movies this year, so we're taking that into account.
Yeah, we better.
I haven't seen Sweeney Todd yet. I haven't seen Charlie Wilson's War. So there's still a few movies that I haven't seen, that aren't released yet. So this list can change, but we're going by what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Al Pacino was great in the movie.
Really?
Eddie Izzard was in the movie. I won't give away who he is, but he's an integral part of the movie.
I enjoyed it, but the one problem I did have in this one was Al Pacino.
Really?
I cannot stand him anymore.
I just like that it was Al Pacino acting alongside people that we haven't seen him act before, and it was like just good to see him and Clooney going at it.
It just felt like they threw him in a new situation, but he was the same person he's always been.
Yeah.
And just the rest of the movie was great.
I
don't know about number one, but it was a great movie.
Ocean's 12, which was the worst movie I've seen in quite some time. And everything was just predictable. This movie wasn't predictable.
Yeah.
I was sort of surprised. Like I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't get that."
Yeah.
And I like when movies can't, surprise me. So actually, that's
my number one is connected to your number one.
Yes, it is.
Because one of the best actors of the year is in my number one. Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, longest title of the year.
Yes.
But Casey Affleck gives one of the best performances I've seen in years. It's all really powerful. I was Brad Pitt in it, Sam Rockwell, a bunch of great actors, and it's such a powerful movie. It's really slow for the first half hour to 45 minutes, but if you stick with it and you start getting involved in the story and the characters, it's just one of the most powerful movies because it really makes you question what you see as heroism, things like that. Like a lot of core things that people think they're going to see in a movie as really black and white, they really gray all of it together. It really makes you question all the movies you see after that.
Well, he was nominated for a Golden Globe, so that's,
and hopefully he wins.
Well,
I mean, it's
strong
really
competition.
It's really hard to find right now, but if you can find Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, go see it.
Yeah. So we covered the best. Now it's sadly the worst of the year. I'm going to go with The Condemned. It was the Steve Austin movie about they put prisoners on an island and make them fight it out. We've sort of seen these things before. The reason why it was the worst movie of the year, shaky cam in copious amounts.
Like when they're standing still, the
yes,
camera's
but
shaking.
it's a movie about the public watching people murder each other, but then they don't show graphic scenes. So it's like, I'm going to stab you, and then you see like a far shot of, or
kind of like Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Why are you breaking my legs?
But it was, if you're gonna have a movie that glorifies violence, show the violence.
Yeah.
And at the very end, they actually yell at us and like, how dare you, want to watch violence and blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm being preached at in a movie about violence. What is this crap? It's like, I don't go to see a Stone Cold Steve Austin movie to get preached at about why I shouldn't be watching violence.
Can you imagine the people that went and saw that movie?
Yeah, it's wrestling fans.
Yeah, and they're not going to expect that.
Yeah, and then you're being told you're idiots for liking violence.
Although,
so
I think I can one-up you with my worst movie.
Let's see.
I'm sure you know what my worst movie is. I get in fights with lots of people over this.
From last week,
Across the Universe was a horrible, horrible movie. Not only did I just leave saying, wow, that was a bunch of crap, I'm never going to watch that again, I was angry.
But your girlfriend did make you see this.
She made me see it, and actually, she makes me see a lot of movies like that. She apologized several times after we watched that movie. We were driving home, she just kept looking and go, I'm so sorry, and I could not forgive her. I still haven't.
You should make her watch Balls of Fury.
I'm not going to forgive you. I will never watch that movie either.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was just Across the Universe. I can't even begin to explain. Maybe I'll write a blog about it. Check viewpointsonline.org. You'll see a horrible blog about it.
We have another thing. It's best performance by someone who won't win an award. This is a performance that was good enough that we enjoyed, but they won't get a Golden Globe, and they certainly won't get an Oscar.
Yeah, but they deserve it anyway.
They deserve it. I have two. I have sort of a tie. I thought Ryan Reynolds in Smoking Aces was an amazing performance. I thought, especially the end. I didn't really like the ending, but I just thought he was sort of out of his shell. It was a more dramatic role. Wasn't as funny, so that really showed that he can act. And the other one was John Carroll Lynch from Zodiac. He's mostly known for Mimi's husband on the Drew Carey Show.
He's good.
But he gave one of the most scariest performances because he was the man
and very neutral.
Yeah, it was like he was the suspect of being the Zodiac. And he sort of played it like but it was very creepy and very like, holy crap, he could be the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, but you don't know for sure.
Yeah, but the movie sort of, shows that he's, the Zodiac. So, but I thought it was one of the best performances.
All right. Let's get to that should win.